Hello and welcome back. Welcome to part 2 of our sequence, 17 European Christmas markets in 17 days. So if you haven't already seen part 1, then stop the video now and click that link up above and go back and watch part 1. If you have, thank you so much for your support of our channel. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please give us a like and a subscribe down below. In today's episode, we're going to pick up where we left off in part 1, and we're going to take you to the remaining 10 Christmas markets that we went to in December of 2024, starting with Chemnitz and then ending with Christmas market Ludwigsburg, just outside of Stuttgart. So sit back and enjoy the episode. The Chemnitz Christmas market takes place annually at the base of the Altes and Neues Rathaus, in the center of the town square. In addition to all kinds of Christmas treats and beautiful gift ideas, the traditional Erzgebirge folk art in the form of Räuchermen, candle arches, and pyramids can be bought at over 200 stalls around Chemnitz Town Hall. The 5-story Christmas pyramid, the music box, the candle arch, miner and angel, nutcracker and snowman take you into the Christmas world of the Ore Mountains.
Die Wichtel mir immer machen mit der Liste, wo die artigen und die unartigen Kinder draufstehen. Guck mal, soll ich das mal zeigen? Ah, guck mal, so sieht die aus. Aber nicht genau. Ja, wir können ja mal gucken, ob die Ella schon draufsteht. Ganz voll ist die ja noch nicht. Ich zeige es euch auch mal. Und da steht natürlich auch das ein oder andere Lied drin, weil ich mir das immer nicht so richtig merken kann. Dann fangen wir an und ich glaube, ihr dürft alle mitsingen, wenn die Ella mal einen kleinen Hänger hat. Aber ich glaube, das kriegt sie hin.
Schneeflöckchen, Weißröckchen, waren zu uns ins Tal. Dann bauen wir den Schneemann und werfen den Ball.
Und jetzt macht mal einen Schneeball, liebe Kinder. Ein Schneeball.
Und werfen den Ball.
The Nuremberg Christkindlmarkt is one of the oldest and most famous Christmas markets in the world. In the wooden booths of the little city of wood and cloth, one finds traditional, often made handmade Christmas decorations and sweet treats such as Lebkuchen or gingerbread and speculatus almond cookies. The symbol of the Nuremberg Christmas market is the Rauschgold Engel. A touching legend claims that the Rauschgold Engel was first made by a Nuremberg doll maker during the 30 Years' War. As his daughter lay dying of fever, he heard the flutter of an angel's wings and was inspired to create an angel in her memory. The true origin of the gold foil angel dates back to the 16th century. It is probably the Christkind, at which time it began to appear to give gifts to children. That was the model for the angel. A paper-thin brass foil called Rauschgold gave the figure its name. The Hauptmarkt, or main market square, has been the center of activity and commerce in Nuremberg since ancient times. The square features several iconic landmarks, including the Schöner Brunnen, the beautiful fountain that was completed in 1396 and is a Gothic masterpiece. It stands at an impressive 62 feet tall, with 40 ornate figures that decorate the fountain. If you go around the back and you turn the golden ring, it's said to bring good luck to visitors. Another impressive landmark on the square is the Church of Our Lady. This Gothic church was built in the 14th century and features a beautiful facade.
Are different flavors. This is mullet wine, no? The red one is mullet wine, eggnog, apple, orange, white chocolate.
Lebkuchen.
Oh, ich habe eine gefunden.
Was schon sehr viel Auswahl.
Since 1999, the Children's Christmas Market on Hans Sachs Platz, with its special programs geared for children, has appealed to the entire family. Here, right next to the Christkindlmarkt, you can find nostalgic two-tiered merry-go-round, a mini Ferris wheel, and a steam railway. The Nuremberg Castle is a group of medieval fortified buildings on a sandstone ridge that dominates the historical center of Nuremberg. The castle, together with the city walls, is considered to be one of Europe's most formidable medieval fortifications. It represented the power and importance of the Holy Roman Empire and the outstanding role of the imperial city of Nuremberg. I'm completely convinced that despite the North Pole story we were told as children, the real Santa's workshop can be found in Seiffen, Germany. This tucked away town in the Erzgebirge is all about making wooden toys and traditional Christmas decorations. The main road is lined with stores full of nutcrackers, smokers, Schwebogen, and beautiful moving pyramids. There are workshops to visit and see toys being made in the old-fashioned way, by hand and simple machine. You can even step back into Seiffen's past with a visit to the Spielzeug Museum, the toy museum. Seiffen was once a mining community, the hills full of silver and tin. Seiffen was first mentioned as a town in 1324 when miners came into the area and started digging. By the late 1600s, however, most of the mines were tapped out. These days, people just didn't move, so they looked for new ways to make money and feed their families. Besides digging, miners were also trained in woodworking, so they adjusted this practical craft into a smaller scale and began making toys and Christmas decorations. Besides the miner and angel and the candle arches, one of the most significant motifs of Seiffen is the octagonal Seiffen church. You may recognize it from many of the Christmas decorations coming out of the Erzgebirge. The Bergkirche Seiffen is a living church that ministers to his parish, just as it has for hundreds of years. It sits on the hill next to the cemetery and has an incredible view over the town of Valley. During the third Sunday in Advent, Seiffen puts on the Berg Parade, or Miners' Parade. One of the unique features of this parade is that there are children and people dressed up as toys. Chemnitz is the third largest city in the German state of Saxony, after Leipzig and Dresden. His huge Karl Marx monument commemorates the socialist pioneer for whom the city was once named as Karl Marxstadt during the Soviet occupation. Nearby, the constructed red tower is a remnant of the city's defensive walls. And Theater Square contains the Opera House, the König Albert Museum, and the Petre Kirche, which we attended on a Sunday service. After spending 4 days at our hotel in Chemnitz and taking day trips, we then took the train to Prague. Prague is the capital and the largest city of the Czech Republic. It was the capital of the Kingdom of Bohemia and the residence of several Holy Roman emperors, most notably Charles IV and Rudolf II. It was also an important city to the Habsburg monarchy and Austria-Hungary. But if you're going to go to Prague, you can't use your euros here. You're going to have to trade them in for kroners. The main Christmas market in Prague is located in the Old Town. The Old Town features several buildings belonging to various architectural styles, including the Gothic Church of Our Lady Before Tin, which has been the main church in this part of the city since the 14th century. Its twin towers are 80 meters high. The Baroque St. Nicholas Church is another church located on the square, as is the Prague Orlok, a medieval astronomical clock mounted on the Old Town Hall. The clock was first installed in 1410, making it the third oldest astronomical clock in the world, and the oldest one still in operation. You can see the characters move on the hour. The tower of the Old Town Hall is open to the public and offers amazing panoramic views of the city. The square's center is home to a statue of the religious reformer Jan Hus, who was burned at the stake in Constance for his beliefs. This led to the Hussite Wars. The statue known as the Jan Hus Memorial was erected on July 6, 1915, to mark the 500th anniversary of his death. Some of the unique foods that you can find in the Prague Christmas market include sonka, or large hams that are roasted over open fires on spits. You can also get langos, a flatbread dough topped with cheese, garlic, and ketchup. Furthermore, there's popular tredelnik. You can't visit Prague without trying this traditional dessert. The tredelnik is a chimney cake, hand-rolled and cooked right in front of you. Prague is perhaps one of the most romantic cities in all of Europe. The famous Charles Bridge is a medieval stone arch bridge that crosses the Vltava River. Its construction started in 1357 under the auspices of King Charles IV, and it was finished in the early 15th century. As the only means of crossing the Vltava River until 1841, Charles Bridge was the most important connection between the Prague castle and the city's old town. The bridge is 516 meters long. It was built as a bow bridge with 16 arches shielded by ice guards, protected by 3 bridge towers, 2 on the lesser quarter and 1 on the old town side. Prague Castle is the largest ancient castle in the world, occupying an area of over 70,000 square meters. It's actually a castle complex, serving as the official residence and workplace of the President of the Czech Republic. It was built in the 9th century as the seat of power for kings of Bohemia, Holy Roman Emperors, and current presidents of Czechoslovakia. Vienna is Austria's capital on the Danube River. It's also known as the City of Music. It was here where Beethoven, Brahms, Haydn, Mahler, Mozart, Schoenberg, Schubert, and Strauss all called it home. The center of the city lies within the confines of the historic Ringstrasse. The first market we visited was the Maria Theresienplatz, which joins the Ringstrasse with the museum district. It is here where the Natural History Museum and the Art History Museums surround the Maria Theresa Memorial, which was named after Empress Maria Theresa, who ruled the Habsburg Empire from 1740 to 1780. This is the Hofburg, the former imperial palace of the Habsburg dynasty, located in the center of Vienna. It serves as the winter palace, with Schönbrunn being the summer palace. The Hofburg was the seat of the Habsburg kings and the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire. In the Schatzkammer or the Imperial Treasury, is located in the oldest part of the palace. You can find all the crown jewels. The Mozart Monument is located in the Berg Garden. Vienna's most famous Christmas market is at the Rathaus. The Rathaus Christkindlmarkt has 99 booths, an ice skating rink, a tree with over 2,000 LED lights. The main tower of the Rathaus is 98 meters tall. Wandering from the Rathausplatz towards Stephansplatz, you encounter the Alt-Wiener Advent Market, or the Old Viennese Christmas Market. Right next door to that is also the Market am Hof, which is close to the Freyjung Market, in a large central square near the Mariensäule column. The Christmas market at Stephansplatz is one of the newer markets. It sits at the base of Stephansdom Cathedral, a Gothic cathedral with Baroque fittings and a multicolored tile roof. Whenever you're able to climb a steeple tower, I always do it. So I climbed the South Tower for fantastic views of the city. Probably my favorite Christmas market in Vienna was at Karlsplatz. Karlsplatz sits at the base of the 18th century Baroque church built by Charles VI. This year's theme was called Art Advent, and it had a bunch of handcrafted arts and crafts. The flatbread pizza here was to die for. Probably the most romantic Christmas market was the one that occurred at Belvedere Palace. Belvedere Palace is actually two Baroque palaces, the upper and the lower palace, and includes the orangery and the stables. This beautiful setting is less frantic than the other Christmas markets, and you can see amazing reflections of the lights in the palace lake. The Christmas markets of Vienna always come to life after dark, with all the many lighted streets and the huge chandeliers that hang along the street. On our way from Vienna to Munich, we stopped in the small town of Salzburg. The town occupies the site of a former Roman settlement. The fortress of Hohensalzburg is one of the largest medieval fortresses in all of Europe and dates to the 11th century. Salzburg's historic center, or Altstadt, is renowned for its Baroque architecture and is one of the best preserved city centers north of the Alps. The historic center is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The historic Salzburg Christkindlmarkt at the Dome and Residence Platz is celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2024. Located in the heart of Salzburg's UNESCO World Heritage Site, the traditional market stands and its long history make it one of the oldest and most beautiful Advent markets in the world. Dates back to the 15th century. Salzburg is also home to Mozart's birthplace. A second small Christmas market in Salzburg lies at the Mirabell Platz, at the Mirabell Palace, which was made famous when they were dancing in scenes from The Sound of Music. After spending the afternoon in Salzburg, we took the train to Munich and walked around the Christmas markets there in the evening. Munich is Bavaria's capital, and it's known for its annual Oktoberfest celebration, its beer halls, including the famed Hofbrauhaus, the central Marienplatz Square, which contains landmarks such as the Neues Rathaus, or New Town Hall, with its Glockenspiel show that chimes and reenacts stories from the 16th century. A great vantage point for the Marienplatz Christmas market is to climb up the spiral staircase in the Alta Pater church that's nearby and have beautiful views down on the Christmas markets, both the Marienplatz and the Victualienplatz.
Gehen wir mal auf die Seite. Anita.
You also don't want to miss out on the Krippel Markt, or the Nativity Market that's just behind the Marienplatz.
Dienstag nichts mehr.
Augsburg is a city in the Bavarian part of Swabia, about 30 miles west of Munich. It is the fifth oldest German city, founded in 15 BC by the Romans, and named after the Roman Emperor Augustus. It was a free imperial city from 1276 to 1803, and home of the Fugger and Welser families. The Augsburg Christkindlmarkt is one of the oldest in Germany, dating back to the 15th century. It takes place in the Rathausplatz, or the City Hall Square, and continues on to Martin Luther Platz. Inside the Rathaus, on the second floor, is the Goldener Saal, or the Golden Hall. It's the most prominent room in the Rathaus, and it marks the iconic monuments rebuilt during the German Renaissance. The Goldener Saal is a double-height room, and its ceiling is replete with gold, sumptuous murals, and magnificent doorways that make the hall a beauty to behold. The Cathedral of Augsburg is a Catholic cathedral founded in the 11th century in the Romanesque style, but with 14th century Gothic additions. Along the southern wall, there are 5 stained glass windows that date back to the late 11th century, early 12th century, the oldest in Germany. They feature the prophets David, Jonah, Daniel, Moses, and Hosea. The 11th century bronze door, which was once in the southern choir portal, is now in the Diocese Museum. It includes 35 bronze panels in 2 series. After traveling from Munich to Augsburg, we then arrived in Stuttgart, and we met some of our other German relatives and stayed for 2 nights with them. Our relatives then took us to the Esslingen medieval Christmas market, which is just outside of Stuttgart. As many hundreds of years ago, merchants offer their wares for sale, craftsmen demonstrate their arts, and medieval songs resound.
Ooh.
Test.
The town of Esslingen is dominated by the castle, which sits on the outskirts of town. It is now over 700 years old and was considered part of the city's fortifications and a symbol of power, as it was supposed to protect the city from enemy attacks. However, it was never used as the seat of a noble family. You can climb the many stairs to the top for excellent views of the town. For our last Christmas market, our relatives took us to Ludwigsburg, which is also about 10 minutes outside of Stuttgart. The Ludwigsburg Christmas market might not be the biggest one in Germany, but it is definitely one of the most beautiful ones, as the marketplace is surrounded by 2 churches, beautiful old houses, and is enlightened by several chains of lights and shining golden angels to underline the Baroque atmosphere in the town.
Weihnachten, ihr Lieben.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this special 2-part episode on 17 European Christmas markets in 17 days. We thank you very much for your support of our channel. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. We really appreciate you following our channel. If not, please consider subscribing by clicking that van icon in the lower right-hand corner below there. And please click the notifications bell as well so you get updates on our upcoming travels. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bis die nächste Mal. Gute Reise.